Hello, Atilia. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank
Thank
you.
you so much for
Thanks for
joining
the
me here.
invitation.
You're welcome. It's my honor to have you here. Directly to the point, let's start about the real meaning of life from your point of view.
Yeah, this is a complex question, right? So it's a very interesting one. Everybody should ask. So for me, I was thinking about how to answer this question. It is, for me personally, is the meaning of life is to integrate what you are and what you want to be, what people around you are, the importance of the people for you, for your work, for your health. So you have to always try to integrate those things. um, Sometimes when we do feel really lost, it's because important part of us is not integrated, is suppressed, is broken,
But it is
or
not
it is
always
not
integrated,
available.
it is not always integrated. How we can do that? How we can handle that?
Yeah, we talked this about this a little bit last time. It is knowing yourself, but really not try to mask the the dark side that you have, or the trauma that you have. If you know yourself very well, and this is a process, right? Because we change over time. So you cannot say, I know myself 10 years ago, I am different now. So it is an everyday exercise. If you want know who you are, what you want, what you don't want, the trauma you have in your life, the people that hurt you, the people that inspire you. If you always keep those memories alive, then you can much easier integrate, because all those information that you have over the whole life, this has to be, it is in our subconscious, right? It is somewhere. Sometimes it's not available for us. We do strange things, and then you don't understand, why did I say that, why I was aggressive, or why I was strange, right? So it is because of those information that are somewhere, right, in our
If you
mind or in our heart.
if you wanna define the meaning of life, just using one word, what kind of word is that?
Integration.
Integration.
Yes, integration.
And
And
tell.
this integration could mean different things for different people.
Mhm.
So for me, is integrate my authenticity. So it is very important for me to be authentic. I really don't like, and I don't accept that someone say to me, be like the other person, right? Do things like this other person do. So the meaning, the concept of influencer, these people that are online trying to um, somehow show the perfect life, they do not touch me, because I do not believe in that. I believe that every person has a special life and is unique, and should not be somehow put in a box, right? So for me, integration is very important, that you know who you are, and then that you be unique, and you accept that you are different,
What
and
about bad
this is
sides
fine.
of yourself? We have good sides and bad sides within ourselves, and you're talking about integration. How we can handle these two items? How we can make these two things being together? Sometimes
Mm,
it is too hard. We
yes, yes,
human beings, we can be very just like Satan. We can also be the angel of heaven, but it is
yeah,
too hard sometimes to handle. We can be killers, we
yeah,
can be bad people. On the other hand, we can be very good people, and we can help so many animals, the nature. On the other hand, we can destroy the whole nature. And you are talking about
that's true.
integration.
Yeah. So first of all, if you try to understand yourself, in my opinion, you have to stop labeling it. So it is not be good or be bad, the bad side of me, the good side. That depends on the situation very much. So if you are in an environment where people treat you bad and are aggressive with you, sometimes it's necessary to be strong and to show your teeth and to show that you are strong as well, to defend yourself, right? But if you are in another environment where people are quite normal and respectful, so it makes no sense to behave like this. So I think all these sites that we have a lot, right? And it's okay. So I would not say you should suppress very much. Of course, we have society, we have some norms, we have behaviors that are acceptable, and you have to obey the law. Of course, you cannot do things that are not okay for the other people. But inside of yourself, I think you should be very sincere. You should say, I am jealous right now. I am angry, right? And then ask yourself why, right? Sometimes it's understandable that you have those feelings, those bad feelings. You have a history. Maybe you have something in the past that explain this bad feelings or bad behavior. But I'm not excusing the behavior. I'm just saying that it makes worse if you try always to mask those and not understand. So over time, this is going to either get worse or you get sick. You can also have some disease because of this, right? So you can, and it is not the solution. Of course, we cannot understand ourselves completely. Nobody does.
Yeah, but we have to
It
try
is a
our best.
journey. It is,
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
journey. It's a journey
yes,
towards
it is a
integration.
journey.
Um, talk about resilience. What do you think about that? Sometimes in life you feel um, devastated, burned out, and broken down completely. How we can survive as human beings?
Yeah, yeah. I have those situations in my life that I felt like, not knowing what to do or how to say something, or how how to solve the problem. The problem was bigger than I could handle. Um, and of course, in those moments, you need family, you need friends. Maybe some people need also faith, and they have to have this energy and this freedom from something
But if
else.
you're alone,
But yes, exactly. So this is why I'm saying you have to be a good friend of yourself, because
mhm,
this is the only this is the constant in your life, right? So other people that are around you, a family or friends or your partner, this might change. People can die, people can leave, and you can change the company. You
become
have
alone
another
and
boss.
go alone. Some people believe
You
that.
have to you have to learn to be comfortable with yourself. That's true. So I feel sorry. I'm not criticizing, but I feel sorry for people that always in action, always outside and looking for distraction all the time, because this is sometimes a sign that the person does not feel comfortable alone with him or herself. And I am a very communicative person, right? I have no problem, zero problem to communicate, to talk to people, but I really need sometimes to be alone, right? And then so resilience, for in my point of view, is this. It is to know to know that drawbacks and difficult situations belong to life, right? And there is also an opportunity sometimes. We cannot see in the darkness when you are really going through a crisis. It's everything dark, right? You cannot see it, but you can be comfortable with the knowledge that those situations at some point are going to be over, and there are other opportunities or maybe a solution below after this darkness is over. So um, it is always this
So
perception over the time, right? Over the time. Sometimes I think we believe that everything is bad, and if you see the news, sometimes you get very depressive because some bad news all the time. Um, but I think you should always know that to be thankful, it's also resilience. So for the resilience, there are many components, I think. It is, of course, again, back again to my main topic, to know yourself, to know that things change over time, and that even if the problem is very big, at some point this is going to be over. And then you have to try to have a network of people that help you, not isolate yourself, because this makes things worse sometimes. And I'm not a very religious person, but I think believing that there is something bigger than you also help, right? Because if we think that we are the most important thing in life, so then, and you are broken, then you are broken, and then life has no meaning anymore, right?
yeah,
So,
yes.
but if there are other people that are important for you, your child, your parents, someone else, and then maybe you think, okay, my life sucks, my life is not nice anymore, but I want to be there for my parents, I want to be there for my child, and then you can distract yourself from this overwhelming situation.
So
Yeah.
network, knowledge, and belief. These are three factors contributing to, resilience, you mean?
These are, I think resilience is not one single thing. It is a component of different things that come together in your life. And for me, i I think to live in the now is absolutely important, because if you are always thinking about the past, things that happened, people that right did something to you and so on, and then you get in this crisis and you are not in the present moment, um, it is very difficult to find a solution, right? You can live in the past, right? So you have to live in the present, and then you get more resilient if you do this every day. You try to live now and see things the way they are, not the way you wish, but the way they are, and then give time to yourself to solve. I had moments in my life that things were not okay for me, but I was somehow, I would not say waiting, but at the same time, when I have this big problem, I was learning to meditate. And this is maybe a contradiction, that how can you meditate if you have so many problems? And I could. I tried to meditate, to distance myself from the problem, to get a clear head, right? And it worked, and it helped me to be more strong. So there are many ways to get resilience, but I think awareness is very important, to be aware.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Uh, Next concept that I want to
May
discuss.
I give you an example? I'm sorry, Mohammed. Mohammed, there is another example. I lived 31 years in Germany, right? So if you live abroad, I don't know if you lived in another country already, but this is an exercise on resilience every day, right? Because everything is different than where you come from in your country. So you are used to do things, to
To
behave, or to,
prove yourself.
you know, yes, if you are living abroad, you are always you have to pay attention. You have to speak another language. You have to see the culture, to respect the norms in the country, and sometimes you do not understand the people. So it is a very good exercise in resilience. So if people live abroad and in another country, and they thrive, they are able to be successful in another country, this is an exercise on resilience. So
So you are a symbol, a good sample and symbol of being a resilient person. Uh, Tell me about the bond between science and art. You are an artist, you are a scientist. Is it possible? Because some
Yeah.
people believe that if you are after science, you have to give up in, for example, art. If you are an artist, if you are an artist enthusiast, you have to. You should not think about science and I don't know math, chemistry, physics, but you have
Mm-hmm.
done both of these items and fields together, and you have done it well. Tell me about that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think they are not, for me, they are not really separate because the both are based on discovery, right? So in art, you discover different ways of expressing, expressing visual impressions you have, or if it's music, different kinds of music. So this is the way of expressing what you discover. It could be a movement like surrealism or expressionism and so on, but it is a discovery for the individual. You are discovering your way to paint, you are discovering your way to do the sculpture. And in science, it is also discovery, of course, right? Even if you are not a very successful scientist like Einstein, you can discover a lot of interesting things, right? So I think this is what is the main point between the two, art and science, is the curiosity. People have to ask questions, uh, to be open for new things, right? And also this, to admire, to have respect. In my case, to respect the nature, to respect living organism. This is what inspire me. But other people inspire suffering sometimes. You see, some paintings are very abstract, and you see, and then you do not exactly understand what is going on. But the person who did that was thinking about some struggle, some psychological process, right? So I think it is like a discovery. But you are right. People tend to think that scientists are exact, they deal with facts, they have a methodology, they have a peer review. If they publish something, someone else has to read it and say it is the methodology is right, the results are right. So it's more quadratic, so more exact, right? And science, you have, of course, to respect those rules. What you do is based on facts. And in art, you are free. You can paint things that do not exist, right? So you have much more freedom to do whatever you want in science, in art, than in science, right? So I think they complement each other wonderful, because then things that you cannot do in science you can do in art.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Right.
Something
Yeah. And
completely abstract.
not always. You can also paint a flower. You can paint something that exists, right? But you can also do an abstract paintings, for example. But the interpretation is in your hand. You can do crazy things. You can make a flower that is red. You
So
can
you
do it in
create your
blue,
own nature.
and you create the reality. That's it. You can make the sky red, you can make the sky green, whatever you want. And this is a very liberating situation when you do art, because you can really experiment without boundaries. You can do whatever you want. But science is also fascinating, because there is so much interesting things in the universe, right? So in the physics, in the mathematics, in the biology, my field, um, it's never ending what you can find out there, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
so. Very, very inspiring. Very, very, very inspiring.
The concept of your paintings, they are, you mentioned inspiring. They are really inspiring combination of,
Yeah.
art and nature and biology. They are very somehow weird, but very beautiful, very heart touching. How could you do that? How could you paint such, they are both tangible and abstract,
Mm-hmm.
on the at the same
Yeah.
time, and it is very amazing to me. Tell me more about that. How could you do that, and what was the imagination, the idea behind those
Yeah.
paintings?
Yeah. As a, for me, it is biology is fascinating, right? So studying living organism, the living organism, is so many levels. Even if you concentrate yourself in studying a single animal or a single plant, you can go from the macroscopic level, how it looks like, to the leaf, to the cell, to the DNA, and then you can go down to the molecular level, and all those levels are for me fascinating. And what I try to do in my art is to mix, to make a mess of those. So I put things that are very small, I increase the size, and I change the color, I change the proportion, I try to make it visible. But it's not only like a microscope we would do, because the microscope that we have in the lab increase the size of things and show things like more or less like they are, right? In my art, I try to put things that do not belong together, so that you can see how they I push them to interact with each other, right? So, or I change the way they behave. So, for example, I have a painting of sperms. They are normally they go in one direction in
Yeah.
life, right? They go in many different directions, but they have a goal because they have a mission. And in my painting, I put them getting together. They they
Yeah.
met and have some fun. They were like talking to each other, right? So yeah, this is I play. It is like a child. I play with those things, right? And I have in mind, I want to do this. I want to paint this thing. But when I'm doing, I interact with the materials, and if things goes the other way, I let it go. I do the way the materials help me, right? So it is not like it has to be exactly the way I plan. It can be that something goes wrong, and then I go with this until the end. So I go with the flow, as you can see.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes at the end it is different than I planned, but it is all right the way it is, so it is fine.
Yeah, it is. That's great. And
Yeah.
what do you suggest? What is your suggestion for younger generation? Should they follow art or, biology? I mean science. Which one they should follow?
Yeah, they should follow their heart.
Hmm.
So the people have different interests, and our job as parents is to allow our children, or my child in the case, to discover what is that fascinated him or her, right? So like
But
not
we should not
everybody
guide
is,
them. Don't you think we should guide them to a better world?
of course, we should provide options.
Hmm.
I don't think we should guide to go in one direction. This is something I really don't want to do, because of course our I see our obligation is to say to the child, or to the young people, pay attention. This area, you maybe there is no jobs, or this area maybe is dangerous, or it is, are you sure you cannot, you don't like to read books, do you want to work in a library? I don't know, like easy questions, but not forbidden. I don't want to forbid anyone to do what the person really want to do, right? Because I truly believe you can only exceed expectation if you do things that you identify yourself with. I don't believe that you can be a really good lawyer if you don't like this, or you be a good biologist if you prefer to study something else. So this is why I would not say do biology or do science or to everybody. No, I think people have different interests, but they should try to discover it, what is that fascinates them,
How they can discover
and
those
then go
the
ahead,
interests?
right?
Tell me about the discovery process. How I can discover my interest.
Yes, doing different things. So not be all the time on the cell phone, like because you are bombarded with information, and maybe doing sometimes things, talking to different people. If you have you have friends that everybody in your that you are friend with would like to be priest, to go to the religion area, right? Then you maybe talk to other people to see if there is other options, right? um, this is very important because the environment have a massive impact on you, a really important impact. And this is not, I don't think it's right to say to people, you will never be a medical doctor, right? Because you are poor, you have in your town there is no medical school, and so on. You should not cut those dreams. You should not do this, right? But on the other hand, you have also people have different start conditions, right? It sometimes I'm angry with this talk about equality. Oh, everybody can be everything if you want. No, some
No.
people want to say or want to do something, but they don't have the opportunity there where he lives or she lives.
Yeah, in talent management,
You are
we say
freeze.
so. We have to find those talents. We have to prepare them. We have to provide, as you mentioned, the needed materials, and we have to guide them. But the first step is that what is your talent? You have to discover that. You have to find out who you really are to to be efficient, to be productive in the society, no matter what you want. But there are some interests, there are some, you have to discover it yourself. You have to discover your talent, as you mentioned.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the connection is freeze. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. So when I was a child, I always was creative. But my parents, especially my father, never wanted us, the child, myself and my sisters, to become an artist.
Oh.
It was for him not acceptable, right? So um, he wants us to have a real profession, to have a job and to be independent and so. So I'm not criticizing him, but I don't want to do this with my child because nowadays we have artificial intelligence, right? There are many jobs that don't exist anymore. So, and people have to be very, very good in things that they do. So we should not cut opportunities. Um, and yeah, I think to discover, you have to try different things. You have to be brave. You have to really don't be afraid of failing, of not succeed, right? So there are many things you can try, and and talk to different people, do different things, and then until you find things that inspire you.
That's
Yeah, and
great.
along the
That's great.
way, I think your parents should support you in this search, in this until they find yeah.
That's great. Thank you very much. Great point of view. Thank you for again. Thank you for joining me here. I think that you gonna be a great mother. Great, what should I say? You are great. You will be a great scientist. Of course, you are great scientist. You will be much more greater in the near future. And about your art, I wanna visit one of your exhibitions in the near future if it is possible. Thank you for letting me in your dreamy world, the world of science, the world of biology, the world of nature, the world of paintings and art. That's great combination, and I hope everyone joined your exhibitions whenever they could and whenever they are. Thank you so much, Atilia. Do you want to add something else?
Thank you. No, I want to say to you, it's very interesting what you do, to talk to people, to get
Thank you. Thank you.
inspired by other people. Please continue,
Thank you
and
so
good
much.
luck. That
I'm
Yeah, to
I'm not
find.
I'm not that much talented or inspiring. I'm searching for inspiring people like you to enjoy the people, to present them, and to let others know these inspiring people. Thank you. I thank God for creating such great people and great persons like you, and some people like you. I'm sure you're gonna continue your way to prove that the human being is a good kind of species on Earth, and people can do much more better things to have a better world life. Most of the people think that people are dangerous. People can kill. People kill each other. People destroy nature. But I want to show them that there are some inspiring people worldwide who can help the world life much better, who can protect Earth, who can talk about good things, inspiring things, fabulous things,
Mhm.
and the main thing could be the art. And thank you for being such a good person. And thank you for joining me
Thank
here.
you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Bye.
Fine. Have a great time. Have a great day. Have a great week. Have a great year. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye
Thank you.
bye. Tschüss. Adios.
Choose.